It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. In the neighborhood. In the neighborhood. It's all clear to
Let them all
me.
in, let them all in then. You guys are ready to rock and roll.
Yep. Here we go. I know it's only rock and roll. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like $1,000,000 this Saturday. If you feel like $1,000,000, smile and raise your hand. Yeah, look at that. That is one happy group of people. We got a lot to be happy about. 160 people just like that. Boom. Happy Saturday. Oh, there's another big crowd coming. Look at that. Yep, yep, yep. Happy February. Happy Saturdays. My goodness. And it's a short month, leap year. Here we go. Kicking off February. It's the first Saturday of February. Everybody know what happened in January? Because it went poof. That was fun. It was fun, but it went poof. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's February, Tanya.
I know it went really fast. Actually, it didn't. I'm glad that January's over because it seems like January is always the trial month, right? Launches you into the year, and you're like, "What's this year going to throw at me?" Okay, all right, we're ready to go now. Now we got our gears going. So now February is all set for success.
I see so many faces we just seen in Dallas. That was awesome. Michael Smith, there he is in the middle of the screen. Michael, it was good to finally meet you face to face. Bunches of, yeah, look at that. It was a great event, too.
Yeah, it
I
was
know we,
really.
I know we don't have time to talk about that event, but it was good. It was really good.
Oh,
Oh,
wow, there's a lot of people coming in. You guys, first off, if anyone who's already in here, any of you guys have that autopilot, please delete that from you. We do not allow those in. So please spread the word with everybody here. We do not allow those in here. And it kind of holds us up, letting everybody in because we have to remove them from the group. So if you guys know anybody who has it, or if you're one of them that has that, please remove that system. We do not utilize that. We don't allow it. So anyway, I don't know. It seems like we're growing. So I don't know if people are just finding it and signing up for it, but please do not. We don't need it. We don't use it. So much appreciated if you guys could help spread the word on that.
yeah.
Murray, are you here?
You
Sure.
know, Tanya, it's actually, Rory, it's a virus, isn't it? It
It
attaches
is.
itself and it grows. And the new students come in, they don't know any better. They see this written, what's it called, transcription of Rory and Tanya's meeting. So of course they click on it. They don't know. As soon as they click on it, boom, they got the virus. And then it attaches to its calendar. Then it invites other people, and other people don't know either. So that's why it's breeding. We're just got to keep getting that word out.
Yeah, it's just please make sure you guys spread the word. We don't join that. Don't no.
If you see it, don't click on it.
Yeah, don't and remove it, please. So all of you instructors, make sure you let your students know not to download that and not to click on it. Anyway, welcome you guys to a Saturday morning, ready to rock and roll and get ready for the rest of the year. Like I said before, January is the starting off point, right? We kind of see what this year is going to throw at us and how we are gonna pivot, right? So I always get excited for February. February is where the year starts for me officially. That's where I call it. Good morning, Rory.
Morning. I'm getting your stuff set.
I haven't seen him today, guys. We've been working. So
Well, it must be a good sign, Tanya, because I can't get this music out of my head. I can't stop moving. I feel good. I got lots of energy. What's up with that, Rory?
That's that's a good feeling.
Yeah. I go from a country song stuck in this ear, and then I'm gonna go over here and listen to some Kid Rock, and then I go back to Alabama, and then I come over here to some 70s rock, and I got all this music in my head, and I'm like, wow, something great is gonna happen today.
Well, I know this. I'm going to take my plus because I've had everything but my plus today.
Had my youth, had my plus, and as I got on with Tanya earlier, I had my brain number,
The secret.
brain number one.
I have a secret to share with plus. So I know you guys like it tastes like a Tootsie Roll to me. It tastes like the batter from like a double fudge brownie, like when you lick the bowl. So what I like to do is I set it on top of a hot cup of coffee and let it get warmed up a little bit. You know, because after you get done mixing it, it's kind of warm. It reminds me of grandma. So I get a little taste of remembering grandma with every time I put that plus on top of my top of coffee and let it just heat up. It's been a fun thing.
That hit hard.
I didn't even know about that. So you're hearing it here first. He hasn't even shared that with me, y'all. So feel special.
It's really nice. I started doing it because you know those Stupel whoppers. What are they called? Stupel
Yeah.
waffles.
Yeah.
They're like one of my favorite. Like I don't know what to call it, cookie treat. But if you put those on top of your coffee and they get all, and they caramel gets all warmed up, it's nice. Same concept.
Yeah, I see several people coming in too that I just want to make sure if you missed the earlier announcement that I see some of you guys that actually are some of the otter pilots. If you guys have that, please delete it. We do not use it. It slows us up starting the meetings because we have to remove them from the waiting room before we can let people in. So if you have that, please delete it. Do not click on it. Do not download it. We do not use it and are not allowed in the calls. So I saw some people coming in that were some of the people that have it. So I was like, yes, I can tell them because it seems to be spreading. We had like 2, 3, 4. Now we have like 25 plus now, and it takes time. So we don't want to have to slow us down. Anyways, welcome, Rory. You want to kick us off? I don't.
It's February 3rd. I'm just gonna point out we are done with January. Like you look at 2024, we are 1/12 the way through it already, and I don't think anybody even blinked. It always goes by quick. So the one thing I can tell you is as soon as you can get your daily patterns changed to accomplish your goals, the better. Because you get in that mode. You'll lose. Like if you procrastinate, weeks and then months go by. And we're right now, I'll put this out there. We are fully pushing to get as many people to Punta Cana as we can. We've got the resources, we've got the directions, we've got everything but you plugging in to get going on it. And all we do is get to build our dreams along that path, right? The journey to get there is going to allow people to get those income numbers up and to achieve more. And I actually, we'll see how much time we have here today. This hour, the next hour, I got something I got to show everybody for the first time, and I wanted to show those that came in on Saturday. So it's a dynamic direction to go. We're going to be pacing some things, and I want to get it done before we go into the most important activity, which is the V marketing. All right. That being said, Tanya did an incredible job as always. At the event on goal setting and getting things into motion. And I asked her to cover it again today because there's a lot of people that missed it, right? And you know, our one of our main missions on a regular basis is to help elevate everybody, but we want to get people to the live event so we can pour into you more. I can tell you we had an incredible mastermind. We'll talk about it we'll talk about it in bits and pieces here. But I've been getting a lot of great feedback. But I mean, I don't know, Tanya, we were wiped out after that. It's really good to sit down with everybody as much as we can and just knock off get the bullshit out of the way and find out where we can isolate your time and get that down. And I think I mean, I was watching light bulbs go off in people's heads and the excitement of them like, wait, I can do that. I can make that time. It was really awesome to watch. And I guess, Tanya, with that, without further ado, I'll just have you just go into a recap. I really want you to cover all this. Take as much time as you want. I mean, I think you know who has the next hour anyway.
Yeah, I do.
So,
I do.
all right.
Me. Surprise. Okay, guys. Well, for the meeting, you guys, I can't stress enough how important it is for you guys to be there. There's just, I don't know, there's a kismet that happens, I think. It's something that's really awesome. But I did cover a lot of our goals, and I've been working on getting some goal assessments and some different things of my own that I really like. And so I had the form there for those people, and I actually have it printable for you guys as well. I mean, to download it, it's online with the assessment behind it. So it's the little, and then here's like the little rating. And then I also have a blank agenda schedule. It's by half hour. This one is dated for the week that we had it. But what I did, I want to cover a couple different things because I think it's important for those who were there. What I had them do is I had them take this little schedule, and you guys, you don't have to use this one. This is just a free one that you can print if you want. But it's just there's so many different other planners out there. But the thing is, until you guys have learned how to be an entrepreneur, how to be self-employed, you don't know. And many people do not know. They don't have that skill set yet because you've never developed it. And so that was part of the training things that we were doing on the mastermind, was that Rory and I were going around individually with the groups talking, and my specific set was, my goal was to try and teach you guys how to be self-employed, how to kind of master your schedule. And part of the problem is I spoke about this quite a bit, but it was the fact that a lot of us, we went from being children to being told what to do all the time. And then we went to be an employee and being told what to do, continuing that pattern of being told what to do. So we've never really learned how to self-assess. Some people have that skill naturally, but you guys, it's very rare, honestly. It's a developed skill. And it's part of personal growth, to be honest. So it's something that I'd highly recommend working on. But so anyway, we had the schedule there, and I wanted everyone, I gave the homework assignment for everybody, and we're going to talk about it on the Monday call as well. But I wanted everyone to write down their schedule, everything exactly of what they did. Okay. Every minute, just for the week. And I referred it to like a food log if you were trying to diet and lose weight. And once you start writing down what you're putting in your mouth, you're more aware of what you are doing. Because sometimes we stress eat, or we are hungry and we just grab something, not really thinking about what we're doing. And it's exactly the same concept with time. Sometimes we're in a hurry, or we're doing something, this and that. We're getting up to go do something real quick, and we don't realize how quickly the time in our day has gone and where it's really allocated to. So the assignment was, and I'm going to challenge all of you guys who were not there to do it for this next week, is just to write down every little thing that you guys do. And I'm talking about getting up, getting ready. And then, again, you guys, I stress this with in person, but sorry to repeat myself, guys, for those of you who are there. But be honest, because you're the only one that's going to look at it. Nobody else is going to look at this, right? This is really for you. The biggest thing that I find is people will put, I'm working, but they're really not. They're getting ready to get ready to work. So you have to be like, if you're prepping, it's prep time for work. If whatever you're doing, if you get up and you have a break, you get up. When did you leave? When did you leave? When did you come back? Like, assess all of that. And then the goal is at the end of the week that you guys can see where your lost time is and how you can allocate it better. And that's really the challenge, is just to kind of figure out what you're actually doing. And so, like, I know many of you guys have heard when Niall introduces me on Tuesdays, he says that I have every day, every hour, every 30 minutes scheduled. And it's because I've had to have that ability to do what I've been able to do. So I've raised 7 children. I also help now with my 3 grandchildren, right? I'm also an entrepreneur, and I run several businesses, not just this one, but I also run several others. I do other things besides what you guys see here. So in order to do all of that, I have to allocate my time. And actually that was a skill that I learned from Elon Musk, is the one that I heard it from first. And he talks about it. He has a book about it too, about time blocking, about how that has allowed him to free up and be able to run multiple businesses, right? That, and then also leadership. So that's another segment. But the main thing that I took away from that for me personally was time management and how to allocate your time. And that's what I've always said before. When you have a list of things to do, I call it like a junk drawer, right? It's great to have it and it's just throw it up right there. And then you can allocate it into the time block that you need to get done. So the reason I'm stressing this so important is because you guys, a lot of you guys do not understand the value of the time and how much you really are putting or not working. People think that they're working and they're not. And so I hear all the time, well, I can't do this. Well, why? It's because you're not actually working efficiently. And I don't think so. Some of you guys, like I said, it's a skill and you haven't developed it yet. And that's okay. That's what we're here to help you guys learn and help you guys grow through that, because it's something that we actually know. So when we're telling you about it, we know we've done this. We've had to do it. We've had, it's the only way that, it's actually the only way that Rory and I even get time together, because we're both very busy doing all the stuff that we do behind the scenes that you guys don't see. And I know Rory makes it look super easy, but it's definitely been a skill that he's developed and that I have in myself. And I actually think I quite helped him a lot with that coming to this, because that was something that I actually was one of my talents, that I think I have a better time management ability. So, but yeah, he has time on his calendar that says Tanya time, which is me. So, doesn't always keep it, but he's getting better at it. But, I also understand that, because we're running different businesses and sometimes things come up, right? So that was one of the things that I was really stressing upon. So I'm challenging you guys for this next week. Write it down, everything that you do. When you get up, how long are you really gone? And when you sit back down, when do you actually get back to work? Just be very accountable to yourself about what you're doing. And then the next thing that I stressed was, you guys, at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself the question, would I hire me? And that is an entrepreneurial mindset. Would I hire me? Am I doing the things that would give me the job that I'm doing now? Would it get me to the success point? Because if you guys have all worked for somebody else, so you know that when you're working for somebody else, you have to be efficient in that time, or you're not going to have your job for long, right? You're not going to be successful. So it's the same thing when you're working for yourself. At the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, would I hire me? And if it's a no, why not? And reevaluate. Don't get all mopey, because I don't believe in that. Just believe in, okay, acknowledgement is the key to change, and you guys have the power to change everything. So acknowledge it, and then assess your day for tomorrow. How am I going to fix that issue so it doesn't happen again, so it doesn't continually happen, so I can have time management and really focus on building my growth here, so that you guys can have financial freedom. Right? At the end of the day, this is all for you guys to have financial freedom. Don't get that confused. This is really for you guys, right? It's all for you, to help you build and grow and change your life. And change, a lot of people have fear change. And I find that to be the case in any situation. But I think you guys really are looking at it wrong, and you need to fear what you already have, because what you have isn't working. So change can only make it better, right? Because if you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect change, it's not going to happen. So in order for you to change and have success, you have to figure out where you're lacking, where's the bottleneck for you. And I find a lot of that is in time. It's really just your time management and how to assess it properly. So those are some of the things that I'm going to challenge you guys to do. For those who are at the event, we're going to have a little after the call on Monday. I'm going to have them stay. We're going to kind of talk and see if they have any questions one-on-one. But you guys, this is why it's so important to come. You get one-on-one time with us. I mean, we literally walked around from group to group and chatted with everybody and helped direct people, answer questions, kind of gave ideas. And that's why it's really important to be there. Because if you want to have something, you need to find somebody who has it and have them be your mentor, right? So I'm going to assume here that most of you guys want financial freedom. That's why you're here. You want time management skills, and you want the ability to change your life in a better way. And once you have the finances covered, then you have more opportunity, more time to do other things that you maybe want to do. And so you have to build and grow and push for that growth. And then after that, you can have that time freedom. But people think that you have a work and life balance, and it just isn't so, you guys. It isn't so. You're either building or you're managing. Which one are you at? Where are you at? Have you gotten the desired outcome that you have come here for? If not, then you're in build mode. If you have, come talk to me, because you haven't really. There's more for you. I can help you. But you're in build mode right now. So we have to focus this year, you guys. And that's the whole great thing about this, is that this year, if you guys commit and you write down, what am I willing to give up to build and to get my dream, achieve my dream? Because there has to be give and take. So if that's what the whole thing about this schedule is, if you could write your schedule down, you can see the areas that you are able to give up to build and push yourself forward for success, right? So that's why we had this whole meeting about one of the things I was covering when we were talking. There's always a give and take. And I think Rory and I have talked about it many times, but we've given up TV. We don't watch TV. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever watched TV that much. I have people quoting shows to me that I'm like, I've never watched that. I don't know. And I just never have. It's just not been something that I've desired to watch and build. I was something I did when I was, my children were very young and I was up all hours of the night. That's when I maybe watched a few things, but I realized quickly that was better developed for better time for reading. So, yeah, so it's like, that was something that we give up. Also, you guys, for those of you who were not there, Rory, at the end of the meeting, he was asking Costa some questions, and they were not rehearsed, by the way. Costa had no idea what Rory was going to ask. Rory was asking him questions, but I thought it was very, very poignant that one of the questions he asked, and Costa had mentioned, because he talked about sacrifices, and Costa said, when I was building my business, my wife and I decided that we were going to give it a year and we were going to sacrifice everything so that we could push and build this business. And he said he missed weddings, he missed funerals, he missed time with loved ones. And because that was the commitment that he was willing to make to grow for financial success. And then the follow-up question Rory asked was it worth it? And what did he say, Rory?
He said it was worth it. I mean, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you want me to? I mean, it was a pretty heartfelt thing. I mean, I think it got emotional because he covered the things that he was able to do for his mom and the family, and just cover the things. And they're all things that are relatable that everybody probably wishes they could do in the circumstance. He's from Iran, right? Iran, and he can't go back there. They can't go back there. I don't know if you know his personal story. It's amazing. He definitely, and I've had some very heart-to-heart conversations with him about like how wonderful America is compared to what he's seen in the rest of the world and how we take it for granted. But I mean, he is an immigrant, and he had Canadian citizenship for the longest time, and or still has it, I think. But he takes care of his mom, and was able to, his dad was never able to get her a house. They struggled and strife, and he was able to get his mom a house down to every detail that she wanted, and was able to reunite her with relatives that she hadn't seen for a long time, and cover all the costs and all the stuff that's there. And when you start seeing all the stuff that he's able to do, it is fascinating. And Tanya and I, we can relate to a lot of it, right? And it's just really cool having him just kind of go over it, because he's just like, yeah, it is worth it. I mean, this is what I'm able to do. And the financial directions you can go, and it's and I always, every time I know his story very well. I've known him for a long time, so it was easy for me to guide the questions, right? But he spelled it all out there, and every time I hear him go over, hey, I did this, it was worth it, I think about everybody that I talk to that is like, they don't have what they want to get somewhere else, and they, are they willing to make those sacrifices? And at the same time, when you don't make the sacrifices, you're also making sacrifices, right? You choose your yes, you choose your no's, you choose the direction you're going to take. And I always remember that. It's like, gosh, if people just knew what the outcome would be, would they put the work in? Are they just missing that absolute belief in what's going to come? And I think that's our job, is to make sure you guys know, like, when you plan it out and go to work, we know what you can achieve, and we just got to push for it. The outcome is so worth it. If you put the effort, it's going to reward you. You're going to get better at things. Anyway, I don't know if that's the direction you wanted me to go with it, but that's when he went through that. All I kept thinking of is, man, I wish everybody could hear this, because, it was so genuine.
Yeah, it was just very, very heartfelt. And the thing is, you guys, is like I said, when you don't have anything, it's easy to strive for everything, right? It's easier, I believe. I mean, it still takes dedication and work to find it. And that's what I just so Rory and I really admire him because of where he came from and where he is, you know. And although Rory and I are not immigrants, we came from very humble beginnings as well. Very, very humble. I mean, my father's a first generation American, and he was a school teacher. So, you know, you guys know how much they pay, and he supported 10 children on that pay. And so I watched him hustle and everything too, my father, to provide for us. So, I mean, and the same with Rory, his father was in the military and wasn't a great pay. And thank goodness we both had grandparents in our lives that helped teach us and train us too, because our parents were always constantly working and striving to help take care of their families. So, I mean, we know what it's like to not have a dinner. We know what that's like to not have clothes that fit, to not have shoes that are comfortable to wear because, you know, you've outgrown and you can't fit into them. And so it's like, that's why I say this only, you guys, because I always say everybody has a sad story to tell. It's not what you went through, it's how you shifted through it, how you reacted, right? And so anything is achievable if you put your mind to it. And I really believe, after talking to a lot of people and assessing it, you guys just lack belief. But you can't get that belief if you're doing the same things you've always done. So again, back with the time management, if you guys take the challenge this week, this whole next week here, you have Monday through Saturday or Sunday, whatever you want to do, write down what you're doing, take that challenge and really focus, be honest to yourself so that you can acknowledge it and you can write a course for, you know, correct the course for change for you. And therefore you can see, like I said, what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to push forward? And I really truthfully find that people just, either it's lack of belief or it's just lazy. They don't want to push for change enough. And so they just don't. So that goes back to the other part was, when you do your goals, the whole reason for this, you guys, it isn't for you to have balance, because that's, like I said, it's not a real thing. There's always going to be areas that are out of balance so that you can work and strive and grow forward. It's really to help you guys find your why. What are you looking for? What changes do you want to make? And will financial, will the increase of financial income, will that help you achieve it? The answers are probably going to be yes. And, you know, money isn't everything, but it sure helps you get everything as far as time freedom goes. Because once you have everything covered, all the expenses covered, then you get to assess what you do and how you move forward. And it can help you reassess every other situation in your life. And so I just wanted to also to be transparent and say, this year, Rory and I have our shoulders pushing to that wheel to grind forward, and we're making changes and sacrifices that are going to change our time, and we are giving up a lot of time and a lot of situations this year so that we can focus and build and change directions for everybody here. And so it's really important that Rory and I do it so we can show everybody that you guys can do it. It's achievable. It really is. It's really your mindset and where you want to go with it. So that's the whole part of this. I don't know, Rory, do you have the link? Do you want to put that in the chat so you guys can download this if you want it as a tool? You have that, and then there's also a blank schedule just in case you guys wanted to print one out and you wanted to have one. I mean, you guys, I realize that there's so many great online ones. I use a Google Calendar as well. It's just how Rory and I it's easier for us because we share. But I also want you guys to use a written calendar for a week just so that you guys can assess your time. So it's right in front of you. You can scribble it down really quickly and you can see what's going on so that you guys can get in the habit of changing your thought patterns and your directions. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and she's asked me to mentor her. She is self-employed, and she is a pastor's daughter, and she spends a lot of time giving back to the church. And she was like, Tanya, this is happening, and this is happening, and oh my gosh, this is happening, and then this is happening, and her life is in shambles. And I asked her the very simple question of, what is the positive goal you're focusing on right now to get out of this? And you know, she couldn't come up with one. She couldn't come up with the one. And so I feel like there's a lot of people that are that way. All you see is the hurricane that's spewing around you, but you do not see the path to how you're going to get out of it, right? Well, I'm here to tell you this is the path. Putting your time into building and growing here will help you with the financial freedom that will help you make the choices and decisions that you want. I mean, we are to have joy in this life and to move forward. And that's what we can do when we can cover all of our expenses. You know, we watched so many people retiring and then not having money to live and coming here. And this breaks my heart. And so I'm hoping that we can help all of those people that are here, all of you guys that are here because of that reason. I am here to help you. We're here to help you guys. We want to give you guys that path so you guys can have the financial freedom, and maybe you can teach your children, your grandchildren how to do it as well, so they can find financial freedom. And you know, the thing is, I heard this a lot over the weekend when we were there with everyone, is that, well, your family doesn't believe you or they don't believe in what you're doing. That's okay. They will when they believe success. So if you work and give up things that you want to, and you start moving forward and pushing forward, you'll find success. And guess what? Success brings in those non-believers. It brings in those people, and they're like, okay, well, dad's doing it, or grandpa's doing it, or grandma's doing it. I guess I can give it a whirl too and see what it's all about. And then it can change. We want to change lives. That's why we're doing this, guys. That's why we're doing this. So anyway, the other thing I start to get off on, I get pretty passionate about things and I get off on tangents. But the other thing that when we were talking about this, that Rory actually brought up on stage was he said this was great for when you're doing the BRT. These are great questions to ask and touch base on different areas of life. So if you want to know and get to know somebody, and you're developing the relationship to see if you guys can work together, those are great questions to ask them as you're going on and help you to connect. Did you want to add something, Rory?
I was going to say, I mean, it's what we're doing. The BRT is almost a life assessment. We don't go into the spiritual stuff so much unless they go there. But I mean, we're trying to find out where they're at and where we need to help them, really, too, right? And that assessment, understanding that, the more you understand that for yourself, I think it's going to be better to ask questions because you can actually relate more because you've done the work on, hey, what do I want? Where am I going? And how you feel about that. And what I was really trying to get across is like, hey guys, we teach you how to do the BRT. Tanny just taught you how to assess yourself. And that's what we're doing in the BRT is we're basically assessing them and getting them to open up where they're at. So we know where they're at, and also get them to, hey, what's their goals? What's their whys? Where they're trying to go? It's the same stuff, right? Like we're going that direction. And it's just powerful because like Tanny gets done with that training. And I'm like, you know, that's exactly what we're doing in a BRT. And if you understand that, that's just more training how to get better at that, right? I mean, the BRT is the number one skill set we're teaching you. Next to that would probably be the communication that bleeds into as far as how you're doing your stories and writing your blogs. But it's all communication, right? How to better communicate with somebody and find out what we need to help them rise up and go to work, right? Go get it done. You know, and it was just awesome. It was like this aha moment, like, you know what? That's exactly what we do in the BRT.
And he said that, and I was like, yeah, that's so true. I didn't even realize it when I was doing this. I was just feeling like this is to help you guys find your why, your direction, where you want to be, what do you want to achieve, and what are you willing to give up to get that, right? And when you have it written out, it really helps you to see it and move forward. So anyway, that is that's some of the things I want to discuss. The other thing I wanted to say, you guys, was please make it a goal. You guys, if you want change in your life, if you want growth in your business, you've got to come to events. And I'm going to harp on this a lot because I have seen people's checks increase when they come to events and they get people to go to events. I mean, I know Niall can talk about that too, because I know in the past, I mean, he just skyrocketed. And the same thing with here. I mean, he was just started skyrocketing once he started getting his team to come and to be a part of it. Niall, do you want to?
Yeah, I can't remember if it was our buddy Jim Rohn or our buddy Mark. Or somebody told me going to the event was great for you. That energy, the bonding, the camaraderie, the information, the golden nuggets that you pick up at every event, even if it's one little one, make a big difference in your business. But every year, the more people you take with you, you can multiply your income. By taking them with you and helping them increase their income, multiplied your income. So that was that whole focus on people and not the money, right? If we focus on people, money just found us. It found us all.
Yeah. That's really true. That's really what it is. It really is. That's what this business is. It's helping others. We're helping people. We're in the people business, friends. If you don't like people, you probably shouldn't be here, because that's what we're doing. We're all about people. We're connecting with people, helping people, building belief systems with people, changing people's ideals. You know, we have a lot of people that have that broke mentality. They don't understand how to get out of it. And you know what? I don't see that. Like some people say, oh, that's offensive. It's not offensive, because guess what? Who has the power for change? You do. Everyone has the choice. Everybody makes choices. And what choice do you want to make to change your life? It's really starting on your personal growth and changing your habits and changing all your belief systems and everything that you do. And you know, it is a skill and it takes time. It takes time, and there's tricks and things when you start thinking negative to there's things that you can do to think positive. And you just have to catch yourself and switch yourself back. So you guys, I'm going to stress it. We have a leadership event and we have a leadership retreat in April. Push for that. Push your people to go for that. Not because of what you will get when you get there, but I'm going to quote a famous guy again, but for what it will make you to achieve it. Right? What it will make of you, what it will change of you. And you know how much better you're going to get from that, from here until then? I mean, you will you guys, your whole life will change. And even if you do not go, if you earn it and don't go, you will change. It will change you. So there's that trip. We have another trip in September as well, but right now we're focusing on this one, but the September trip will be coming up too. And that will be an event where Rory and I will be one-on-one with everybody. But the leadership, they are for us to relax, to have downtime, to enjoy each other's company. That's what it's all about. It's all about that time of connection and celebrating our wins, right? It's the, if you look on the graph, it says reset, refocus, recommit. That little pie there, that's what those are for. They are to help you reset, refocus, recommit. That's what they make you do. They help you to just continue on with your success and your growth, and you get to see and talk to other people about what they did that worked, what they didn't do that worked, and get the great thing that we have the choice whether to learn from the experience or learn from others' experiences. And you're a lot smarter when you learn from other people's experiences, because you don't have to go through it. So that was part of the things that we discussed, and Roy put the link in there, you guys. So you can get that if you're interested in it. So that's part of that. But anyway, you guys, the growth, I can only say the growth that this has had for me as well while getting ready to, I'm not a non-stage kind of person. And I'm going to, Karen Weatherford, she came up and spoke to me about it and said how much she's seen me change. You're such a sweetheart, Karen. I don't know if she's here, but she's such a sweetheart. And she's absolutely right. It made me rethink, okay, yeah, I have grown so much since getting from behind the computer, right? I was the one doing all the numbers, the figures, all the finance stuff, all behind the screen. I never got up in front of people. And when Rory decided it was time for me to get my butt up there, I did not like it. I kind of went kicking and screaming, not going to lie. But now I'm doing it and I'm doing better, and it's way more comfortable, and it's not any scary. And I was talking to somebody over the weekend and they said, get on the phone is scary. I said, it's not as scary as getting on stage. Let me tell you, get on the phone isn't scary. Guess what? They're going to say no. And you're going to say, okay, next. That's it. So I see a lot of people here that are getting ready to get ready. You guys, you're never going to change if you don't push forward for change. So you have to take those steps to change. So do the hard thing. And that's one of the things I talked about, you guys, is and when you're getting up in the day, you're going to write your priorities, and whatever that number one thing is, that hard thing, that's what you should be doing first. Do the hard thing first and do it until it's done, and then move to the next. And if you only get one thing done and it was the hard thing, then guess what? You're better off than you started that day. So and for a lot of people here, the hard thing is getting on the phone. That's the hard thing. So get on the phone, do it first. We had that great training from Kathleen on Tuesday where she was showing you guys how to set up your computer so you could just go bloop and get going. And that will save so much of your time as well, because you just open up and everything that you need is right there and you're ready to rock and roll. And it will just save so much time, and it will help you to get going instead of keep getting ready to get ready. It will help you to now you're ready. There's no more excuses. And we've had so many of our own MSIs here, which if you are new, our MSIs are our master systems instructors. They're the ones that are the top leadership here. I can share stories of so many of them that when they started, they were shaking and they didn't want to get on the phone. And now it just, they flow through it. They're smooth and it's easy. And if you don't have the answer, it's okay. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm learning this too. Let me find that out for you and get back to you. Or if you're worried about that, have your leader, your instructor, one of your leaders be able to chat so you can ask that and get back to people. You guys, I know if I'm coming into a business, you don't have to have all the answers for me. And I'm one of the harder people to sell, let me tell you. I am very hard to sell on almost anything. It's just my personality. So if I'm hard to sell and I'm going to be like, okay, I get that, fair. You're learning your job too. You're making this work for you. I'm still going to be patient with you and learn what you got to say. So it's okay. And if they don't, then they're not ready yet. And it doesn't mean they won't be, because I have seen so many people come back that said they didn't want to do this and they've come back. I've seen people that have been instructors here quit and come back because they realize it is actually the path. It's just the way that you set your schedule up. Now, talking of schedules, I do want to cover this because I only have a few more minutes here today. So I want to cover this section of it. As you are an instructor, you're going to find people that are time sucks. Okay. You have to be able to, one, if you are a time suck, then you have to realize it and kind of reel that back in. But if you have to make sure that you're telling them, you guys, we're focusing right now on building and changing your financial situation so that you can work on other things. So let's save that for the events. Let's save that for when we get together and we can chat and share stories and have that bonding time. That's what needs to happen so that you can move forward and push through your day. I've watched a lot of people as I've been on different calls listening in on things. I've watched them people just throw up all over them. That's what I say. And when you're that first call, sometimes you got to, because if you're doing your BRT, you've got to. That's different, right? But you can also control the direction. Rory, you're better at this than I am, but because I'm pretty direct, and I'll be like, I know that. That's what you're here for. We're here to change it. We're here to change your life. We're gonna make things go. So I just kind of cut people off and go on. But Rory's nicer about it than me. I always tell everybody, he's the nice one, not me. I'll smile and I'll be I'll be gentle, but I'll be very direct. How's that? You always know how you stand with me because I will be always upfront. But but you just got to make sure that you're directing them to spend their time wisely too. And my goal is that as you guys learn to control your schedule, and really it is control as much as you can, that you can teach that on and we can continue. It's something that we're going to continually teach here because it's such a valuable tool that needs to be learned. It's a skill that needs to be developed, and most people just don't have it. Anything else you want to say, Rory? You gave me a look like you wanted to add something.
Oh, no, you're just doing great. I'm just taking it in. I'm a student with you still. I'm just taking it in.
That's not true.
Ma'am.
I can go ahead and mute him. You just keep going. This is very
You guys, he's flattering me, but flattery doesn't get you anywhere with me. I prefer to know what's really going on.
what's really going on.
Mhm.
I can see everybody's eyes. I'm loving this.
Okay, well, that was pretty much what I had to cover, guys, was the assessment that we do. And we're going to continue. We'll do these at the end of every year as we prep for the next year. And I think what we're going to do, I was talking to Rory, I think we're going to do quarterly assessments as well. And I have those written up too. I'm working on that. I'm actually working on a book for all this. It'll be not to make money, just to help everybody. It'll be downloadable for everybody. But it'll just be so you guys can have the tools at hand, because I've gone through so many personal development and work courses. I've been sent as a leader in out in the industry. I've been sent on so many growth development work courses, all that kind of stuff. So for years I've been going on these things. And so there's just nothing out there that really fits our niche where we are in the market right now. So I've been working on rewriting a bunch of stuff. So it's coming, guys. So be prepared at the end of the quarter to have an assessment, and we'll kind of go over things, and we'll share some other, tips and tricks of assessment as we go along. But really, again, as you guys do the assessments, you guys just make sure that you realize that there's really two key parts there to your assessment. And it's broken into 8 sections, but it can really be covered in two parts of that. And that is personal growth and spiritual growth. Truthfully, everything else fits into one of those categories, because as you change those 2 parts of your life, everything starts to change. You start working on your mindset and your belief system and focusing on really making your time. That's all personal growth, guys. You start focusing on that, other things will change because you're changing. And that's why I love that quote from Jim, that he would say, do it not because of getting there, but what it will make of you to get there. what you will become. That's the personal growth, that changing that happens over time. And I just love that. I always quote it to everybody because it's so true. When you achieve something big, what changed in your life to make you do that? How did you grow, and what did you go through? What did you learn to achieve that? And those are the keys of wisdom there, guys. That's what's just so great about what we get to do. We get to focus on personal growth here. We get to change our financial abilities, and we get to have time freedom. That's some secret to success here. I just love that we get to do this, you guys. I really do. I'm really excited for all the different things going on for this year. There's so much coming in. Don't miss a Tuesday night, guys. We have so many announcements coming on, so many different things changing and growing, and it's just going to get better from here. Rory, you're up.
I'm up.
Your
Okay,
turn.
perfect. I'll pull this up.
While you're doing that, can I ask something to what she said?
Yeah.
That's what she said. So when I said earlier, caring about the people more than the money, and money just comes to you if your focus is right. I hope everybody realizes that's what you just did. Helping them get organized, helping them set their goals, helping them set everything is helping them get to that, put the light on the path so that to help them get there. That's exactly what you just did. That's what you're doing. That's what your focus is helping them.
Yeah.
And for me, Tandy, it was always easier to go fast than to go slow because I couldn't get away from my job until I got to a certain point. So it was fast. And again, it might have been Jim, it might have been Mark, right? That said, the longer you wait, 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, the less your chances are to get where you want to go. Because life is beating up on you that whole time.
Yeah.
So the longer you wait to get into gear, the less your chances are.
Oh, 100%. 100%, you guys. That's why we stress that I believe in steady growth, but I also believe in you've got to make change now. Because I mean, a lot of you guys are here for more money. You want more income. So if you want more income, then you have got to give the next 6 months to a year, and you have got to just grow. You've got to do the hard thing first every day. Get up and do it again until it becomes easy, until you have a new hard thing to do. And then you're going to do that. And it's just, and at the end of this year, you guys, starting when we start to reassess ourselves at the end of this year, you guys will have grown so much. You'll have changed your lives. Your life will not be what it is now. And that's the good stuff. That's what makes me very excited to do this, you guys. It just makes me very excited to help I just want you guys to achieve your dreams, truthfully. I know that maybe sounds cheesy, but that's really what it is. I want you guys to achieve your dreams and your goals, and I want to celebrate with you. I want to get to know you guys more individually and help you guys with anything that I can, anything that Rory can. That's what we really want to do. That's why those meetings, the events are so great, because that's when we actually get to connect with you as well. Because there's a lot of you, and hopefully it's just going to grow from here. So anyway, go ahead, Rory. Back to you. But yes, that's what I'm trying to do, guys. We're trying to help and work on other people. That's what we want, Rory and I want to do.
So I have something pretty cool to show you guys, and I think we're going to be incorporating it into a new presentation. You guys get to see it first, and I'm just going to bring it up. It's nice having. It's just nice having these things at our fingertips now. But I want to walk you guys through the Velavita stuff. We just came back from. Well, is it been a week, babe? We're back a week.
Yeah, it was last week. Yeah.
I mean, it feels like yesterday, in some regards, and then we've been running like full force on things. And I'm going to share this, but I want you guys to understand that we've figured out a pretty dang good groove on how to focus on what people love, want, and desire. I mean, that's what we're marketing, right? I mean, and I guess I cover this constantly. I'm a broken record about it, and let me pull this up.
Or we might have to go into the DTC hour and then come back to it too, because we only have a few minutes. But
that's a good teaser. I like teasers.
I like that. I like the teaser too.
So let me. You know what? I just looked at the time too. So let's do that. You guys, we've been developing this for a long time, and there's been some pivotal moments and things adjust and things, go that direction. And I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go down memory lane. How about we go down memory lane? And Niall, it's July of 2020. I am on my way to Fort Lauderdale to write my book, to hopefully try to finish writing my book. That book took a long time, and I'm like, hey, one more week, I'm gonna go out there and write. And I had it booked earlier that year. I would sit down with Tanya and say, what weeks can I go and just write? I got to get this book done, and I get kind of like, when I get into myself, which means you don't want to be around me. I'm not a very personable person when I'm writing like that. It's like when I'm doing a blog page sometimes. Like, you guys see me zone in, right? Like on the marathons, I just zone and go. It's like that times 10, but also like I barely eat. I barely, do anything but get that done. And I'm gonna go do that along the ocean. And I picked Fort Lauderdale because, Tanya, we have all these timeshares, and I would get to pick where we want to go. And I picked it out like in January that year, I think, right, babe? It was like January. It just felt right. And there's some reason I'm gonna go to Fort Lauderdale. Like, of all the places I could go, I chose Fort Lauderdale. And was it July? July or June. June, I get a call from Costa, right? And he's come out of retirement. They just launched the new company, Velveeta. I want to call it Velveeta Cheese. I have a hard time with the name. And I'm talking to him, and and he tells me about Brain and the nootropic, which you guys we were looking at that. Tanya's our dad, I call him dad. Dad had been looking at these nootropic, products and stuff for Brain because he's getting older and for his brain. And I was studying it as well. And like, wow, there's a lot of things going here. There was some big names coming out of nootropics, and it was like, hey, this is the trend. We should look at this. Costa calls me. It's the same trend. And he sends me some. I literally had them overnighted. I think he already had sent them to me, and this was letting me know they're on their way because they were there the next day. Like, it was so freaking quick. And I tried them, and I freaking fell in love with the product. And you guys, we were in a very happy state. And I got to let you guys know something. This is what happens here. You get in a happy state. The flow is going. Everything seems great. We had another company we were marketing, doing fine with. Incomes were great, and everything was good. It wasn't like, but I always keep my door open, especially to mentors of mine. And he told me what he had and had that product. And I called Niall, because I call Niall for like anything. I mean, he's family, but he's been with me for a long time. We've been through a lot of ups and downs and challenges, and I'm calling him. I'm going, you remember Costa? And he's, of course. I'm like, man, he's got this new company, and I'm coming out to Fort Lauderdale to write my book. He already knew I was going out there. I said, I know I didn't want anybody to come out there. Niall had talked about coming up. It was like a 2.5-hour drive from where he was, and I had told everybody no, like, I'm going to go write, do my thing, and I said, I want you to come out with me now. Right. And of course, Niall gets the stuff ready. I said, we're gonna go have dinner with Costa. Right. And I didn't tell him anything else because I'm like, what am I gonna do? I love the stuff. I like the delivery system, but we're happy. Like, things were happy. Triple R was happy. And it's funny. And I'm just bringing this up because it's full circle, because we were just there at the facility for the second time, and talking with Costa more and seeing some amazing changes on this global direction. And I remember we came out there, both Niall and I forgot our jackets. Like, I didn't take a dinner jacket because I wasn't thinking about it. And Costa does things very formal, and he has these business clubs, and he tells me we're going to go to dinner, and I'm like, that's great. And, because I want to discuss stuff with them and catch up. I hadn't sat down with them for a long time, and, go break bread and all that. And I remember telling him, like, hey, I'm bringing Niall, and I'm bringing Niall as backup because we're happy. Right. And I'm happier because I'm on Brain and realizing it. And I remember, Niall comes there. I say, we're going to go talk to Costa. He's got a new business, and I need you to help, be there for me. Just so we can, say hi to a friend and go through it. But we're happy, right? And I remember giving Niall the product to try and not telling him anything about it, right? Like, just try this. And that usually is like, okay, last time, Rory, you give me some stuff that tastes pretty nasty. What are you doing? Right. And I like, just take it. Right. Just take
Y'all,
it.
he
How
brought
hard is it?
Niles to tell him no. He brought Niles as a backup for no, just so you know. Okay, go ahead.
We're happy, right?
No,
You're happy.
we can't.
And this is the thing, right? Being content. I read something the other day, and I think it answers how I feel about being content. Tanya's got to know me really well this way. I don't like being content. I feel like something's wrong. I got to push. When you get content, it's almost a drug because it makes you not progress. Like
Absolutely.
I know that being happy is great, but there's happier. You can do more, right? And if I didn't have that drive, none of us would be here today. But so we're happy. I have now come out there, and by this time, I've had the product for over a month. Okay, he didn't send me one box. He sent me a big box of product. Like he sent me enough. Like, oh, I'm gonna make sure you get this in your system, Rory, because I know what it is, and and he can bug me if I'm taking it. He definitely knew how to work the relationship, and he did start off with a couple of things such as like, you guys are getting more of the story now, and I'm gonna cut it short, but you get more of these things such as Rory, I don't pick losers. Like if I came out of this, there's a reason. Well, yeah, I get it. Like, for you to go out of retirement, it's got to be something big. He told me about the science behind it, and I'm like, okay. And then trying it is one thing, right? That's why I like to give people a snap. You hang around me, I'm going to give you a snap. It might be lemon, it might be caramel macchiato, it might be whatever I have, right? And it's funny because we're going through, guys, we got empty boxes of brain like everywhere. Chanya's like, what is this? What's this? I'm like, well, I just leave an aftermath. But anyway, now we go to dinner, and we had to go get jackets that day because we're like, both of us look like, oh crap, this is the jacket thing. And he's like, I didn't even bring them. I didn't even think about it. And I think the last time we had dinner with Costa was with jackets. So we're like, oh crap, Costa's going to want a jacket. And I remember calling him just briefly. It's like, hey, are we going to your business club again? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, that's a jacket place. Like, it's if you don't have a jacket, you can't get in. So we walk down the street, and I'm just going to bring this up there. We walk down the street, and we go to a Robert Graham store, which both Niall and I like Robert Graham, and get a nice jacket. And again, things are great. Buying the jacket was easy. Right. Niall, I didn't even think about the price. We're just buying the jackets. It's kind of fun to be like that. I'm just remembering that. And they didn't have a jacket my size. Now, you guys remember I was bigger. Okay. They just didn't have my size, and they didn't have any color that I really was like into. Niall found something for him like quick. Like, oh, this is me. And I'm like, yeah, that's you. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure something out. And I remember the lady she goes, wait, I think there's a black one in the back. I'm like, black's perfect. And she goes back there. Sure enough, it fits me to a T, and it's a winter one, right? Like, I had to take out a liner, which I'm like, oh, this would be great in Utah. And I get this jacket. Like, it was a crazy moment. We had a lot of crazy moments like that, and just I call them happenstances, but it just everything was working out. And we go to dinner, and I've already talked to him a lot. And we're going over the plan and where things are going. And I remember I look over at Niall like for some support, and he literally just goes, what did you do? He's like,
Well, first of all, I'm Googling everything the guy's saying, right?
yeah.
I'm doing my research and trying to be polite. And then he leans over and goes, when Costa was ordering a bottle of wine, and the
He
waiter,
was getting another bottle. He has a private stash, and we had already gone through 2 bottles of Pinot Noir.
Rory leans over and goes, Bud, you can speak up and help out any time now. I'm like, Rory, this is a no-brainer. We got to have this product.
Yeah.
Even though we're there to tell them no.
So then I was just like, crap, right? Like, okay, I guess we're making a shift, because you can't market heavily, in that same genre, 2 things. And that meant we're taking something that's already working. People are already making money. Everything is going great. And we're going to dump it and go this direction. And I'm glad we did. And it's been incredible journey and watching where it goes. But watching other things going. And you guys, there is just a difference here. And so here it is. It's almost 4 years. And this year will be the 4th year.
Thank God you gave me caramel macchiato and you didn't give me the lemon one.
You know, that's funny. I never even thought about that. And because that could have been a reverse effect. You guys, Lemon could have ruined this whole deal.
Well, what? Yeah, you missed that part of the story, you guys. When they were looking for jackets, Rory gave him one to Niall. Didn't tell him what it was. Just said, "Take this and let me
Yeah.
know what you feel." But
Well, we stopped at a Croc store too first, right? We went inside to get
We had to
Crocs,
smell at Crocs.
and it's in the middle of the mask. It's mask time. I hate masks. I couldn't breathe with it on. I got one in my pocket all the time. We walk in, young sales guy goes, "Sir, you can't come in without a mask." And I look him in the face and I went, "Is that a company policy or the city ordinance?" He goes, "Oh, it's a company policy. I could get fired." I reached in my pocket, pull out the mask, put it on with no debate for the first time since that whole thing
Oh,
started.
it would have been an issue. We'd be dragged out by now. But yeah.
Had a great conversation with that kid, walked around, got his grandson some Crocs, even got the pins that go in the holes. Had a great time and we're leaving. And I said, "Rory, I think for the very first time, I'm feeling a lot of compassion for that side of the debate. You know, I really understand what the retail side, what those guys are going through." And he goes, "So you feel happier?" And I went, "Yeah, I guess extra compassion could be defined as happier. I'm happier. I don't know why, but I'm happier." And he goes, "That's what you're supposed to feel." And I went, "Oh, okay, what else am I supposed to feel?" And he goes, "I won't tell you." And he wouldn't. So we go to dinner with Costa, that whole thing he was telling you about. We're leaving. We're walking back down through the strip in Fort Lauderdale at 11:30, 11:45 at night. I was like, "What do you want to do? You want to go over here, get a drink? You want to go get some seafood, some raw oysters? That sounds good. Maybe we can go over here. Maybe we can go over there." And he's like, "Dude, it's 11:45 at night." And I went, "It is. Why in the hell am I not tired? Why do I got all this energy?" He goes, "That's the other thing you're supposed to feel." And I went, "Oh my God, we're going to help a lot of people."